What's up, court reporters, and welcome back to my channel. Just yesterday, Tuesday, July 18th, disgraced former teen mom to star Nathan Griffith, also known as one of the ex-soulmates of another disgraced former teen mom to star named Jenelle Evans, appeared in court yet again. Honestly, at this point, I think it's safe to say that he practically has a reserved seat in the courtroom by now. It's just too damn much. I can't. Okay. So not only are we tracking him for his, and let me just put up the wall of mugshots to remind you guys of how much is going on here. So not only is Nathan in court right now for the strangulation charges against him after he allegedly strangled his sister, but there's also the DUI situation, which he's not dealing with at the moment in this story that I'm covering, but trust and believe he will be back in court for another appearance when it comes to that as well. Do frequent offenders get like a frequent offender card or something like that with any perks? Because to me, I don't understand any other reason why someone would constantly just be in and out of jails and courtrooms. So just to give you guys a heads up on Nathan's sister, her name is Heather. And it turns out that Nathan was living with her and her husband when he allegedly decided to strangle her. Like, absolutely mind-blowing. And one of my commenters said that they saw a different story claiming that Nathan waited for her husband to leave before he launched his attack. And I gotta say, that doesn't surprise me. In my initial video, before we even knew who his victim was, I said I 1000% knew it was going to be a woman, because Nathan does never steps up to a man. He only goes after women, right? Because he's a little bitch that wide, and it's just absolutely disgusting. So according to the Ashley's Reality Roundup, Nathan was assigned a public defender due to his poor financial state, and when the judge wanted to asked him if he wanted for him to read out the criminal complaint against him, Nathan declined. I wonder if it's because he feels bad about what he did, or if it's because he can't keep up with all the charges against him. And, he's just preferred not to bother at this point. His own attorney asked the judge to grant him bail so that he could be released and be monitored by Nevada's pretrial compliance unit. And ultimately, the prosecutors on this case had nothing against that, right? In fact, they had about two stipulations. Number one, Nathan had to post $5,000 in bail. And number two, he has to submit to high-level electronic monitoring, which includes an ankle bracelet and court-issued monitoring mobile phone with the GPS trackers, location tracing tethers, and he also has to complete random check-ins as well. Like, he's got a lot going on. So although I'm disappointed that he's been released on bail, because just look at the wall of mugshots, right? And we're missing at least two, maybe even three or four other mugshots as well. So the fact that, and we always go over this, but I'll just repeat it again because it deserves to be highlighted. A lot of these arrests are for violent crimes against women, right? So to me, if someone who has this much of a history of being violent against women, to me, they should not be released, right? But unfortunately, he is released. At least the conditions of his release seem to be pretty strict. So that kind of is like a little golf clap for that, but I'm still not impressed with what is going on here. I will say though that one thing that does kind of make me happy is that Nathan went from like climbing on top of his sister allegedly and strangling her and demanding that she submit to him now publicly in front of the courts and in front of the world having to submit to the judge himself. Life comes at you fast, and I love that for him. Now, don't forget, you guys, there was a no contact order that was issued. Nathan is not allowed to have any sort of contact with his sister before November. And he will be back in court on August 1st in regards to this situation. But don't forget, there's a DUI charge against him. So there's going to be other court dates as well. I don't know how this man keeps up with all of this stuff. Like I said, it's just a lot. There's got to be some frequent offender points or something like that. Maybe we offend enough and you get a personal organizer or someone like that, right? Because it's a lot, like trying to juggle this sort of an itinerary. Now, like I said, Nathan has a restraining order against him from his sister, not allowed to contact her, and he was living with her and her husband when all of this allegedly took place. So now I gotta wonder, where does Nathan go? Right? He is married. He's got a WAF and everything. In fact, when he got his DUI charge, it was because someone called the police about a dispute between him and his wife. And then later on, he was caught like in his car with a bottle of Tito's vodka. So what's the situation with the wife? First of all, who would marry him? Why would you marry him, girl? Second of all, why aren't you living together? I guess there's trouble in paradise already for this very short marriage or whatever. I don't think he'd be able to go back to live with his parents because he is a menace to his mother. We all saw that on the Being Nathan special on MTV. So I don't know, maybe a park bench, maybe a park slide. Not sure, but it's going to be interesting to see how this all unfolds. Nathan Griffith, get your life together. I would love to see him sentenced to rehab as well, not in lieu of jail or prison time, but in addition to, because obviously he's got a serious problem. You know, I said half of his arrests are from violent crimes against women. The other half are from DUIs, right? And the gag is right now he's facing both at the same time. Charges against him for violent crimes against women and charges against him for a DUI sort of offense, being behind the wheel of a car that was running with an open case of vodka in his possession as well. Obviously, he's got a problem and he needs rehabilitation. I wonder if you can also get rehab for violent tendencies. Let me know if you know any of that in the comment section. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.